Morning all, evening all, good afternoon everybody. Hope you're well, hope you're staying safe, hope you're having a great day. All of that malarkey. Come down to the bees. For one, the main reason I came down to the bees today was basically to have a quick check to make sure they're all still standing. We have had quite a blowy couple of days, and so I was particularly worried about the bee house, just to make sure it's all still standing, but everyone else is fine. I'm pleased to report everyone's still standing, no one's been blown over. Everything is good. Now, whilst I was down here, the other thing I want to say, a couple of things I'm going to say actually. First thing I want to say is regarding names of our hives. Now, people that have been watching this channel for a little while know that we name our hives, and we name our hives with the letter of the alphabet which the hive represents. So Abby, Brenda, Cindy, yada yada yada. So we have gone through Abby, Brenda, Cindy, Demma, Summer, and we're now at another hive E. Now we have lost 2 E's. The first one was back up here before it was named. This hive back up here, there was a dead out up here, and then our other hive, which is now Demma, we lost Emma. Well, Emma failed, the queen failed, and we combined Emma and Daisy together to make Demma. So we've kept Daisy, so we kept a D, so now we need another E. So our new hive, so this is the one that's going to go into the bee house, is this one down here, and she's going to be our new hive E. So any suggestions for a preferably female name beginning with E, comments below, and we'll run through them all, and when it gets to March time we'll make sure we've got that name, that hive confirmed. Hopefully these guys are all going to make it to through winter. We are in middle of February at the moment, so there's still no guarantee that these guys will make it, but we're trying to get out the other end. We're looking positive, we're trying to stay positive, and we're hopefully going to get all 6 hives through, including our new hive, which will be our hive E. So saying that, I'll just flip you around a second. I'll just mention a couple of things about the names of our hives. So this is Abby. So Abby is our original hive. She's the one that we started with. We bought a nuke back in 2018, and it was this hive here. The hive used to be at the top, up that end, but we've lost that tree, which is where all the woods come from, which knocked Abby down. That was on a video a little while ago. So that's Abby. She's doing well. It's definitely not the same queen in there. I know that for a fact, because I lost our first queen within the first year, I think it was. So it's definitely not the same queen, but we've named the hive is Abby. Bring it back up the line then. So we've then got our second hive, was this girl here. This is Brenda. She's normally quite feisty, but she's been all right. We've had a few issues with Brenda, but she's doing really well at the moment. We then had Cindy, which is this hive here. Again, she has been pretty feisty, but she's all been all right. Brings us down to this hive here, which is Demma. So this is our Daisy Emma combination. So we did have 2 splits out of one of our hives, which was Daisy and Emma. Emma failed, so we combined the 2. And this one here is Summer. So Summer is a swarm I caught up on a place called Summer Lane, hence the name of Summer. She hasn't kept the A, B, C, D, E, F, yada 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 bit, but I thought I'd name her something a little bit different, because I didn't honestly think she was going to make it, but she's doing so well at the moment. And then obviously that brings us down to our little nuke here, which was a split made from Abby. I think it was made from Abby last year, and so she's doing really well. But her plan, like I said, hive E, I'm going to refer to her now as, she's going to be going in the bee house, one side of the bee house, I think in this side of the bee house next year, or this year, sorry, and then hopefully going to split her into this side as well. So I'm going to have the whole 22 frames, which is in this hive, all from that box there. So that's the plan, that's the plan of action. So that's the names and such like that. I'll just turn you back around a second. Whilst I am here, and whilst it's on my mind, just one more thing I think I want to mention, and that is the fact that we are still in winter. It is still a long way off until we get to spring. Some of the flowers have started coming up, some of the crocuses are coming up, the snowdrops and stuff like that are coming up. So when it is a nice warm afternoon, it's still early at the moment, the girls are going and they are collecting some pollen, they are having their cleansing flights and all that sort of stuff. So I'm really pleased with that. But that being said, I've mentioned this before, and you'll notice loads of beekeepers say this thing as well, because it's absolutely true. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. They know what they're doing this time of the year. Now, I went on to I went onto Facebook, and I've been onto, I've seen some YouTube videos. Now I am only referring to UK videos here. I can't make any sort of comment on those ones which are out in the States or further afield, because I don't live there, so I'm not going to comment too much on that or anything on that. But what I can say is, in the UK, I'm in the southwest, and we're mild. We are really warm compared to a lot of other places. We are still getting overnight frost, but we are still fairly mild. I've seen videos and I've seen pictures of people going into their hives. I've seen them manipulating frames. I've seen them moving things about and stuff like that, and saying, oh, it's a warm day, I'll go in there and I'll check the girls and move them over, make sure they're fine. Leave them alone. At this time of year, all we should be doing is just checking feed levels. If you've got a hive, I said this again, this is something I said before on my worst bit kit video, and to be honest, I saw someone advertising that again earlier on and say, look, this is a great idea, stethoscope. Oh, pointless. But I've seen people going in there, moving them about, checking them over and things like that. It's just like, stop it, leave them alone. If you've got a hive this time of year, you know, we're mid-February, beginning of February even. If I've got a hive up there which is failing, I'll take it back up a minute. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, let's pick a name. Let's Abby is failing, and she's, you know, queen died, and she's got hardly any bees in there, and what have you. What am I going to do at the moment? What am I going to do to try and get that hive back up and running? I'm not going to be able to do anything at all. So just leave them alone. That's the point of what I'm trying to make at the moment, is that you can't do anything this time of year to sort that hive. I can't combine the hive with something else, because that's going to cock up two hives. I can't introduce a queen. I can't bring in some brood. I can't do anything at all, because it's winter still. So leave your hives alone. Don't mess them around. By all means, go in there, check on some food, but that's about it. So, that being said, what are our plans going forward? So, at the moment, as I just said, we're not doing anything. We're going to leave them alone. Come down here, I think we checked last week on feed levels, and their food levels are topped up and fine on everyone. So, I've got no issues at all with feed levels from all. One thing I will be doing, and again, this is something that some people don't agree with, some people do agree with, is feeding pollen. My plan this year is to try and split some of these hives as early as I can, so that I can try and get as many into the summer, so we can still get a decent harvest out of them. So I want to split these guys as best I can, as quickly as I can, when the weather allows, when the time of year allows, so that I can obviously grow the yard a bit, and at the same time get as much honey as I can come the summer season. So that's our plan. So I'll be feeding pollen, because I do want to increase the brood. I do want to be able to get them to turn that pollen into brood so they can grow, but not yet. That's key. That is, I'm not doing it yet. Later on in the season, once it starts warming up, I'll start putting some sugar syrup on there. Again, not everyone feeds in spring. I will be feeding in spring this year. That's, again, if you don't want to, carry on. This is what my plans are. For the same sort of reason, I wanted to get growing, get growing. I want them to start bringing in some nectar, brood, pollen, and just that kind of just gives them the oomph they need to start, basically. So that's our plan. So we will be feeding in spring pollen and sugar syrup. That will be done probably the end of March, I want to say. Let's go with that. Let's go mid to end of March. I'll probably start looking at doing things like that. And then moving then into April sort of time, April, May-ish time, we'll then start looking about doing some splits, creasing the yard, then feeding some of the smaller hives to get them going again, because there will be some foundation, maybe some foundation-less frames. I haven't decided yet. And so I can get them going, and then they can obviously start building it up, so we can try and get something for the summer flow as well. So that's our plan going forward. So that's obviously subject to change, because I don't know what will happen. These hives, for all I know, all these hives might not make it. That would be devastating, but it's true. I can only quote fingers that I can. I have just seen a couple of girls coming out from Brenda, which is lovely. So she's still alive, I can see that. So yeah, so that's our plan. Now, like I said, you might not agree with this, you might agree with this. This is how I'm doing it, okay? So thank you very much indeed for everybody, let's go with that. Everybody that has watched our videos, subscribed to the channel, liked, commented, shares, everything like that is massively appreciated. I also want to put a thank out to Lawrence over at Black Mountain Honey. He's done some lives recently, and as well as the shout outs for I'm eternally grateful for, he has got some really good Q&A sessions going on. I will add something else on this as well. Q&A sessions. If you've got someone as experienced and knowledgeable as someone like Lawrence over at Black Mountain Honey, fantastic. Q&A sessions are brilliant because you can gain so much information from them, and then you can kind of tweak it here or there to make it fit what you're doing, and they're great. If you've just started beekeeping, I saw one on YouTube. Like a few weeks ago, and people have obviously said, "I'm new to beekeeping. This is what I'm doing." And like in their second week of beekeeping, they've done a Q&A session. Ask us some questions. We'll answer them. We've been beekeeping a week. Are you really going to get your best knowledge from someone like that? Probably not. Probably not. So, shout out to go to Lawrence of Black Mountain Honey. They are a fantastic channel. If you haven't watched them yet, I highly recommend them. In my opinion, one of the best, if not the best, beekeeping channel going at the moment. So that's that being said. But that's about it for today. I just want to keep you updated, let you know what's going on, what we're doing, how things are going up here, and as far as I can tell, all is well. But as always, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for liking the videos. Your support, as always, is amazing. You have yourself an amazing day, and take care. Bye-bye.